All opinions and comments expressed by the hosts and guests of this podcast are solely those of the individual speakers and do not represent the views or positions of any theater or theatrical organization with which they may be affiliated. Welcome to the ACT Podcast, Actors Creating Together, a podcast dedicated to theater here in the South Texas area. And now, here are your hosts, Jessica, Cameron, and Mario.
Thank you guys for returning to Actors Creating Together, our podcast with Cameron and Jessica and myself, Mario. We are highlighting all the productions in the South Texas area. And how y'all doing? Y'all doing good?
Hey, welcome.
I'm great. Happy to be here.
Glad to be here. Very happy to be here.
We have a great interview this time.
Oh my gosh, the interview is phenomenal.
It was really good. Very informative. I think you guys are going to learn a lot. It's with Laurie Hofelmeyer.
Yes.
And she is assistant director of the Rocky Horror Show at Aurora Arts Theater. And we had a great time talking to her. We're going to get to that
phenomenal time
real soon. But we want to first start with just some of the things that we're doing. So we'll be reviewing some of the shows coming up around the area. I've already reviewed one. You can check it out on our Facebook page.
What was the name of that again? No, not the name of our show. The show you saw.
The show I saw, it was called I Can Remember For You. And then there's a Spanish translation of that. And it's about a mother and her daughter who takes care of her, who's going through the stages of Alzheimer's. And so it's very endearing, very it's funny, but it's got some good endearing parts, and I really loved it. It was a really good show. So if you get a chance to check out the review I gave, I'm not sure they're doing it anymore. I think they did 3 shows, and then they did another one in San Antonio the following weekend.
Okay.
But I'm not sure they're going to keep on doing them in different locations. But it is a very, very good show. I really wish that they could come back and do it again, because it was really the people that were with us in the audience, they really loved it. I know my wife and I did when we saw it. So it was really good. But we will be reviewing all the other shows, including the Rocky Horror Show coming that started actually yesterday.
Yeah, and Cameron's tech.
Yes, Cameron.
I'm actually going to be teching the double features happening in October.
Oh.
But yesterday I got to see opening night from the audience point of view, and it was fantastic.
Of course, they always are.
Now, does Aurora hand out little goodies with your tickets for the
Yes, they have prop bags, which include cards, party poppers, and glow sticks. They usually have
like a deck of cards,
like maybe 4 or 5 cards.
Oh, cards. Okay.
Yes. Usually they have water guns, but they didn't get them in time, I've heard. So instead of them being $5 a bag, they're going to be $4 a bag.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Okay, so it doesn't come with the ticket. It's separate.
Right.
Okay. All right. Good to know. I can't wait to see it. I'm going to go see it October 3rd.
And I'm going to go see it on the 18th. So we will have, I guess, different perspectives.
Yeah. Different showings.
When I was in it, as we got further into the show got tighter, and you can tell the difference from the first night to the last night.
Oh, always.
But,
yeah.
It's a great show.
Yeah.
They always put on a great one. And of course, we're going to have Laurie talk to us here in a few minutes about her life and what she's done. Also, we're going to be reviewing in the future episodes and to come, Legally Blonde, the musical. They're having that at Harbor Playhouse. And
I'm excited to see that one.
Desiree Cantu is going to join us for an interview for that one. And we will do a review as well for that show. And Young Frankenstein, that's coming out October 8th or 9th, I believe, in Port Aransas Community Theater. That's going to be really good.
I'm really excited about both of those. What main reason being I'm still new to Texas, and I have not made my rounds yet to all of the community theaters. So these are going to be my first shows at these community theaters.
You said you're new to Texas still.
I am.
Have you been to Buc-ee's?
I have been to Buc-ee's.
Thank God.
Yeah, you have to go to Buc-ee's at least once.
I have, yeah.
When it's legal.
No, we were 4 hours from Dallas, where I'm from Tulsa, Oklahoma, and so Dallas was a 4-hour drive, and every time we would go to Dallas, we would stop at Buc-ee's and grab some beaver nuggets.
As one should.
I like the barbecue.
The barbecue's phenomenal. Yeah. Okay, this is not sponsored by Buc-ee's, but Buc-ee's, if you'd like to reach out and sponsor us, we are all up for that.
Send some beaver nuggets and some fudge.
You can pay me in barbecue sandwiches up on.
Pay me in nuggets. Yep, that'll work.
So we are going to go do all those things, do the rounds to do all those shows. And hopefully we're looking at the new shows that might be coming up next year.
Yeah.
So we'll be doing those as well. So let's go on to the interview.
Yeah, sounds great. We have today Miss Laurie Hofelmeyer. Did I say your name correctly?
It's Hofelmeyer. Although
Hofelmeyer.
in the old country, it was pronounced Hofelmeyer. Bless you. Thank you.
Well, welcome. We're so glad to have you here today. Tell us a little bit about yourself to get us started and a little bit about your show that you are assistant director on, the Rocky Horror Show at Aurora Arts Theater.
Hi, yes. Well, first of all, a big member of this community. I have been doing community theater out here in Corpus since COVID. That was my first show post-COVID out here, and I've just been kind of plugging away ever since. Before then, I directed at the University in Kingsville, and I also got my BFA from Baylor University before that, and I've been doing musical theater and been an educator for quite some time, but a performer since I was 14, and kind of do it all. I'm from South Texas. I hail from here. So whenever I was here in junior high and high school, I competed in UIL in one act. And it was through theater that I got the scholarship. I would not have been able to afford to go to a school like that to major in theater if it hadn't been for the scholarship that I got when our high school production won our state championship. So the rest was kind of history. I did have a brief hiatus where I was in the Navy for 10 years.
Oh, that's awesome.
Brief.
Brief, right after I became a mom and had kids. And so, but I ended up leaving that because I missed theater too much. And
because you're about to get your master's, aren't you?
Yes, I'm working on my master's right now from the University of Commerce online. It's a fantastic program.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So and I was asked this year for the second time to assistant direct Rocky with Dylan Rios. This is my third time being a part of it. I directed it a few years back on my own, and this is my second year directing with Dylan Rios. And when you have such a good working rapport with somebody, and you have such a camaraderie with them, and you feel like you're being listened to, and you really feel like you can listen to them and y'all work so cohesively together, it's not hard to say yes again. It's like going back and hanging out with old high school friends again. So nice. It's been amazing.
Well, let's get started with our questions for you. Our first question for you is, what first inspired you to pursue both theater and teaching as a career?
I feel like theater, the thing that first inspired me to pursue theater was just, I fell in love with musicals in general. TV, television, and watching them growing up was always close to my heart. And then I never thought I could do it though. And I had a really great theater teacher. I accidentally got put into a theater class in 7th grade. I was supposed to be in band because I had an awful stutter. And I got put into a theater class, and Mr. Springfield, he said, no, stick with it. He was like, I think this is something that's up your alley, and I think it can help with your speech impediment. And he was right. And he worked with me throughout the year, and theater actually got rid of my speech impediment.
Wow.
And I know, and I saw the therapeutic uses of it and how it could change your life. And so I went after it, and I know how life-changing that can be. My parents, they were came from very humble beginnings. They followed the cotton here, and they came from a long line of cotton pickers and people who followed the harvest. And I came from that kind of a family, and they would never have been able to send me to where they did if I hadn't really pursued that, done well with it, and then gotten the opportunities that I did. And so teaching it was a no-brainer for me, and passing it on and paying it forward, so to speak. And every class that I teach, whether it's here at Aurora, whether it's in the school that I teach at, I always tell them, no matter what you go into, the basics in theater sets a foundation for you to succeed in life.
I love that.
That's true.
Thank you.
So what's the biggest challenge you faced directing a show, and how did you overcome it?
I think at the beginning is where I faced my biggest challenges. And I would say that my personal biggest challenge as a director was trusting my own voice. And that's something that you have to learn to do very early on, and getting that thick skin and really being your own number one fan. And it's so easy to say, right? You know, it's so easy to repost it on TikTok. It's so easy to post a song. It's so easy to, yeah, we all do it, right? But to really believe it is an entirely different thing. And when I first started in, we tend to allow outside voices come in sometimes, and other opinions come in sometimes that maybe can make you second guess yourself whenever you have a certain vision. And when the very first show I directed, I felt really certainly that I didn't want to use backdrops, that we didn't need them. And I remember my stage manager at the time, who was more experienced than me, he had directed shows, but I hadn't, told me, no, it's a children's show. It's classic. We have to use the backdrops. I was like, yeah, but is it really necessary? If something goes wrong, then it's just going to look like a mess. And he was like, no, but look at it. And I was like, we went through the rehearsals. Nothing was going wrong. Maybe I overthought it. Maybe he was right. But in my gut, I was like, I didn't really think we had needed them. I thought we had gotten it with lighting. The day we opened, everything went wrong. It got tangled. We had to stop. It took us 3 minutes to get everything back on track. And I'll never forget looking and being like, oh my God, that's what I was worried about. And he was just like, well, if you didn't want, he was like, well, you could have said no to them. He goes, if you didn't want them, you didn't have to have them. I was like, no, you're absolutely right. I'm the director and this was my show. And if I had a feeling about something, I should have made that choice.
Amen.
So that taught me one of the most important lessons of my life, that I have to live and die by my sword in my own decisions when I'm directing a show. So if I make a decision, I have to believe in it 100%. If it doesn't work, I will take full accountability for that decision because it was mine. And if it does work and it was mine, then that's the greatest feeling too. Whenever you're like, oh, I knew I was right on that one. But either way, you have to go with your gut, because at the end of the day, you can sit there and say, well, so-and-so told me, but as a director, no, you make all those final calls. It is your final call. So make sure that it's the one that you believe in.
That's great.
That's awesome. My question to you is, looking back, is there a role of production that stands out as particularly meaningful to you and in your career?
Yes. My mentor, Corey Ranson, he used to do theater here at Harbor. He's a professor and he's in the Dallas area now. But he's the one who first, I worked with him in acting, and then he's the one who really believed in me and was the one who pushed me to go into directing. And he really thought I had an eye for it. He wrote an original show called June Bugs, and it was based over a homeless group of people who he would see driving to work every day here in Corpus. And he would be stuck in traffic, roll down his window, and he would hear them for about 15 to 20 minutes every day, and he would hear their conversations, and he'd hear their interactions and their dynamic. And he ended up writing an original play based on it. It was called June Bugs. And the lead role was a girl named Farrah Lee, and she had a lot of trauma. She, had a drug problem in the show. There was just a lot, that connected her to the world. And I remember that was the first time I got a show where I got to create the character from the ground up. Nobody had done it before me. There was no precedence before me. And being able to create a role for the very first time before anybody else is probably the most rewarding experience I've ever had. And we went to the Kennedy Center with that because we went to ACTF, the American College Theater Festival, and we got a special award. And that's where I got my Kennedy Center Best Actress Award from the Kennedy Center for performing fairly. Thank you. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So,
That's really cool.
yeah.
Well, we want to talk a little bit about the show that you are assisting directing.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about the Rocky Horror Show.
Rocky Horror Show. It's amazing. It's a standard here at Aurora. They do it every year. I have known Rocky since I was a little girl. I remember sneaking out of my room late at night. My parents were both asleep. I knew I wasn't supposed to be watching it. I was 12 and I was like, I want to watch this show. And I remember parts of my brain opening as I was watching it. It's like, I don't know if you're familiar with the movie Pleasantville, where everything's in black and white, and then all of a sudden they start seeing things in color whenever they start learning and realizing things.
Right.
And that's exactly, it's the thing that really kind of brought color to my own world, being at that young, tender age. And it made me realize that people were different. They were things that weren't quote unquote normal. And I loved it so much. There was just something that was so exhilarating about that to me. And I don't know where those people were, but I wanted to find them and I wanted to become best friends with them. So whenever, it was a few years ago when I was asked I've been in it before as Magenta in my younger years. But when I was asked to direct it a few years back, it took on a whole new meaning for me as a director, because I mean, the number one message about Rocky is, yes, being exactly who you are, and don't dream it, be it. That's always resonated very profoundly with me. I think it's the main message of the show. And being it was the first musical I ever directed here, and being a first time musical, when he's talking about I'm going home and talking about, seeing blue skies through the tears, it's hard. It is hard to do what we do. And it is hard to be vulnerable and to put yourself out there and to leave yourself open for criticism. But we do it. We take that risk for the reward at the end of putting something up there that's going to speak to somebody. There was 2 books written about acting, and I teach it to all my theater kids back in the day. And it was the Poetics, right? And it was the very first books about writing, and it was 2. It was comedy and tragedy. And the number one reason they said, why do people go, old Roman times, why do people come and see theater? And it was because it was the cathartic experience. It was the human experience that connected people. And you're doing something up there that's going to speak to somebody out there in the audience, because in this big world, so many times we feel unheard and we feel so alone, and we feel like nobody else feels what we're going through, and that we're going through this whole experiment of life completely on our own. And then you go to a place where you see somebody and it's representing exactly what you're feeling in that moment, and it makes you feel connected to not only them, but the world and life itself.
Wow.
Said so well.
That was it. So
Beautifully said.
Beautifully said.
well, one last question. So what's next for you? Any dream projects?
Well, they're all dream projects to me. I take it one show at a time. I believe in listening to the universe. I keep myself open for any projects that come up. And usually the great thing about theater is that it's usually there with open arms, and every place needs help, and every team needs, some other person to come along. And I've said it from when I came back to theater after I was in the Navy. I came back to theater and I told myself I missed it so much that I'd be willing to just hold a broom and just sweep the stage at the end of the night if that meant that I was a part of a production. And to this day, I have the exact same feeling about it. Anything to be in there. And so, yeah, we'll see. Stay tuned.
Okay.
Love it. Thank you so much, Laurie.
Thank you, Laurie, for doing the interview. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. And thank you for doing this podcast and for doing what you do. I know I don't know how much of it's going to be picked up. We were still sawing back there talking about sawdust. But, all of that sawing and all of those doors closing, those are just that's the music of the theater, man.
Amen.
Yes.
And we tap our toes to it, and we just keep on going.
Yeah. For those of you listening, we do not know yet until we are done recording if you are able to hear all of the saws and the doors and the people walking by, but we are currently sitting inside Aurora Arts Theater as they are getting ready to do their final tech day before opening tomorrow for Rocky Horror. So we're really excited, and congratulations on the show. We know it's going to be amazing.
Thank you, guys.
Break a leg.
So much.
Break a leg. So other than the phenomenal interview that you all just listened to, today's other topic is musicals versus straight plays, the pros and cons, and what you prefer and what we prefer. And we'd love to hear your feedback. Please send us your comments in regards to what you prefer and why. So we're going to start off with the question of, Cameron, do you prefer straight plays or musicals? More one over the other, and why?
I actually like both musicals and straight plays, but preferably musicals more, because the music catches my attention a lot more and I'll get super into it. And a lot of times when an actor is singing on stage, like, my brain gets that gets a shock of dopamine from hearing somebody sing. And it's like, it makes me like really happy, and that happiness makes me enjoy the show a lot more.
Especially if it's like a musical you're familiar with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You're like singing along in your head.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I think a musical tends to tell the story better, that you got to break between just the straight acting and then the musical part, and it kind of, that song talks about the scene and kind of maybe describes a little bit better than maybe would somebody just acting that out. So there's benefits for that. I do like straight plays because it makes you have to think. It makes you have to listen and watch and see what the movements of the actor, what they're doing. We did speak about children's plays or I guess PG rated plays that children and adults are in, or just all children. There's a benefit of that too. You want to see your child excel and do good in a play. If I was going to go see it, this is why we probably see this in mostly productions here that are musicals, because that's what brings the audience in. So I think that people like to hear songs, especially something that they're familiar with, like Chicago or Legally Blonde or Rocky Horror. People know those plays, and they've heard some of the music, especially Rocky Horror, that's been around for going on, 50 years now? Is that the 50th anniversary? So there's something to say about musicals, and that's going to get people in the seats. That's very important for a theater to be able to fill up the seats and sell out, and to keep it going, because there's a lot of things that we're not even talking about: the logistics, the buying, the licensing of it, the benefits of not having a musical. You don't have to pay the musical license; you just have to pay the playwright license, and so it's a little bit easier for you to make, not have to fill the seats all the time. Whereas when you have to pay for music and the script and people who have the rights, it gets expensive. Yeah. I'm sure everybody here locally will understand that, especially if you're running a theater, to be able to afford to get the license, so then you can have the good plays, and everybody wants them, and they have all these restrictions. If somebody's doing that play in the 50-mile radius of your location, you can't do it for a certain amount of time. So you have to kind of look around what everybody's doing around your area, and then kind of go with the one they're not doing. Right. So there's those things.
That is a benefit also of announcing your shows for the season before anybody else does, because you then make claim to that show.
Because you have to have all the money to be able to claim 7-8 shows in a year. That's a lot of money up front, and not all theaters can do that. I mean, nonprofits can. But the ones that theaters are owned by individuals have to come up with the money. And so I can see that the benefits of being able to do that, because it's really good. You can sell season tickets. People know what they're going to buy. People don't tend to buy season tickets of something they don't know what's coming.
Right. And people know musicals better than they know straight plays. So,
for sure.
Especially if it's a musical that was on Broadway. Most musicals are Broadway known that get popular and done by the community theaters. And so that alone buys that want and drive to buy tickets. And so as a theater owner or as a director, producer, you're going to want something people want to come see, and hear about. And they're only going to come see things that they're familiar with typically. So what are the benefits of that?
What I would be interested to see is a theater announce a mystery musical that they're going to show.
You don't know what it is to come through the door?
Exactly.
Ooh,
exactly.
That's an interesting concept.
Yeah.
Hey, that's an idea for you theaters out there.
Yeah. She'll do that.
Surprise us.
Come talk to me about directing it, please.
I can see the logistic though, but because you're going to have to come up with money, hoping that all of a sudden you're not going to have the name of the show and people are going to just buy tickets on.
Yeah, that would be.
You're going to be able to do something
that's very interesting.
I would buy all the tickets.
And then.
I mean, the phenomenon over the last, 10 years now are mystery boxes. And if you all have children, you know that you probably buy a mystery box of some sort almost every time you're inside Walmart, right?
Yeah.
And they're fun. It is fun. And even the mystery card packs for your card games that you play, Magic of the Gathering, all mystery cards.
So when I come see a mystery show.
I'm for it.
You know what? Theaters out there that are listening, come speak to us. We
have all the ideas.
Have all the ideas here. Love to work with you on that. And in my opinion, it is fun to go watch the musicals. I enjoy watching the musicals. But when it comes to participating in a show, I'm straight play all the way. I cannot sing. I will sing in character, but that is the maximum of my singing.
Oh yeah, that's me.
I will do a
Same
character
thing.
sing, yes, but
I mean, I do love good straight play also, but I like straight plays that are more comedic than anything.
yeah, yeah, true.
It's very hard to sell a drama and be there for 2 acts and 2 hours plus.
Yeah.
It's got to be really, really good. I mean, I can't name a lot of straight plays that
Keep your attention that
keep
long.
your attention that long. It's either got to be a mystery, something that's like a whodunit.
I mean, I'm pretty fond of the one I just assistant directed, but pure biasm. However, Ken Ludwig has phenomenal plays,
Yeah, I mean,
and it was a Ken Ludwig show.
yeah, and
So
that was really good.
I mean, I did tech for a show at Del Mar, which happened last semester, called Eurydice. And throughout,
classical.
yeah, it's very classical. And I've heard audience members say that they loved it. They want to see something similar to that. And this is probably like me being biased, because not only was it my classmates, and I was also taking the show, but from beginning to end, I was just completely hooked.
There's something to say about the classicals, the ones that you already know,
Right.
and you're not having to, as you mentioned earlier, like really be involved in it and pay attention to get the entire story, because you already know the story.
Right.
At that point, you just get to enjoy the acting and watch what you're familiar with. And so, yeah, there is something to say about that as well.
And that takes you to another thing. You have to have the right actors in the right part
yeah.
to communicate
Absolutely.
that.
Sure.
Because if you don't have that right actor, it's going to fall flat, and then the rest of it could fall flat because of one person or two people that just, or it could be good in other things, just for that role weren't. And that's why we're really about trying to push people to go and audition, because we need more people locally to do this, because nobody gets paid to act on the stage. It's all for the love of it.
Absolutely.
And I mean, who knows? Like, somebody who has never auditioned before or acted before may have that hidden talent.
Right. And
Absolutely.
they-
For that example, before we start wrapping it up here for our show, great example is in the show that I just assistant directed, one of our characters had to drop out for family reasons, and we could not find a replacement. It was very difficult to find a replacement. And so I reached out to one of my husband's friends on one of our game nights. I'm like, hey, do you by chance act? And he's like, not since like 8th grade. And I'm like, well, you look the part. I think if you were willing to attempt the part, I think we can walk you through this and get you really good at it. And he's like, you know what? I'm ready to try something new in my life. Why not? And so day one, he comes up and he reads, and of course we're off script at this point, and he has to be on script. And it's his first time since 8th grade, since he has been on the stage. Did he suck? Absolutely on day one. Absolutely. Did he know what to expect? Nope, not at all. But by the time we were completely ready to open, he was loving every moment of it. He killed it on stage, and we are so proud of him. So with all that being said, encouraging all of you out there who have at one point in time considered acting and you haven't done it yet, get out there and do it.
Yep.
And if you are only offered an ensemble role your first time, take that ensemble role. Get to know the people in the theater, get to know how the theater works, because there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that just being an ensemble, you're going to learn and get better at, and just keep going.
And as we said before, ensemble members make a show.
Yes, they do.
And
Absolutely.
also, just a note, I was there when I saw him for the first time.
That's right, you were there.
And what I really noticed the most was the encouragement from the rest of the cast.
Amen.
They were like very encouraging. We all knew that he was not on. He was very raw. But as he went on, and from the first to the opening night, he was totally different.
Oh my gosh,
He nailed it.
completely. Yeah,
he was
did.
awesome.
He
But
nailed it.
in the run, he was on.
Yes.
From pratfalling to all his lines, he was on.
Yes.
I was very impressed.
Very impressed.
The
But
transition to what he did. It was
you were
great.
right. It was the cast that was encouraging, and the cast uplifted him 100% the entire time. And I don't know for this as a fact, but Larry, if you're out there listening, please confirm.
His allergy, Larry. Sorry.
I believe, I didn't say his last name, but I believe one of the cast members offered to work with him privately outside of rehearsals because it was a lot of his words were Shakespearean words that he had to say.
Right.
And this person that he made really good friends with has studied Shakespeare. Technically has studied Shakespeare and through their college experience. And so I believe they took that time, and just having that family that the theater creates and uplifting you, definitely encouragement for those of you who want to try it and never have. Do it.
Yeah.
Just do it. Nike, sponsor us.
Just for the record, we're not sponsored by Nike.
Yeah. We want to be, though.
Yes, we'll take sponsorships. And before we definitely close out our conversation for today, we have today's question of the day. Please message us on our Facebook or anywhere that you can message us on social media at the moment with the answer for your name to be put in a drawing at the end of the year. Also, don't forget, go back to episode 2, listen to our question of the day. You can still submit your answers for that one for your drawing. And today's question is, in regards to our guest speaker, our interviewee, Miss
Laurie
Hofelmeyer. Really easy question here. What show is she currently assistant directing? Answer in the comments, not in our comments, but in our direct messages, so that we can put your name in the hat for the drawing at the end of the year. We're planning on it being tickets to a show. We do not know which show yet, but they will be 2 tickets.
Right.
So, and I believe Cameron has one more item to share with us before we close out. What was that, Cameron?
Actually, I do have something to share. It's actually pretty exciting.
Oh, cool.
I'm actually writing a script on the history of puns to play on words.
Cameron, let me. I assume that was your joke and not
We'll insert the
serious.
drum.
Are you actually writing, or is this your pen?
Well, I am writing a script for another short film.
Oh,
So-
nice. But that was good. That was funny.
Thank you.
That was funny.
That was good.
Appreciate that.
We're laughing
Love
inside.
Cameron's puns.
You're laughing on the inside.
We're laughing on the inside. It was good.
So for Jessica and Cameron, I'm Mario Aguilar, and thanks for listening. And we'll be back soon with our next episode. Until then, we'll see ya.
Take care.
Bye.
All opinions and comments expressed by the hosts and guests of this podcast are solely those of the individual speakers and do not represent the views or positions of any theater or theatrical organization with which they may be affiliated.